Hey guys, how you doing? You alright? I want to do a video today on dogs on lead and off lead and dog reactivity, so aggression. I often get asked about dogs and their reactivity being greater when the dog is on lead versus the dog being off lead. I don't know if you're experienced anything like that, and if you are, please put a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you're experiencing, and ask me some questions on it. I'll look to answer those questions. I'll do a little video on Facebook for you. But what I want to do today is kind of give you an idea of why they may react worse on lead than off lead. And for me, think about how the dog is feeling. So let's assume that most cases of dog aggression, it's a fear-based reaction. With most dogs that live with families, unless they've been trained to behave in an aggressive manner, i.e. if they're maybe police dogs or dogs that you've rescued that have been trained to fight or whatever it may be. Otherwise, if you're just picking up a dog that hasn't been socialized properly, and that's the key thing here, a dog that hasn't been socialized properly is the likely cause of a dog that has a fear, or it might be that they've experienced something negative, and the outcome then is of course they're then scared of that stimulus. That's where you may get specific breed related reactions. So your dog may react to a certain breed because they've experienced something bad. Anyway, back to the point of being reactive on lead more than off lead. And for me, what's crucially important here is because off lead, a dog can respond to its feelings and make its own decisions. So what do I mean by that? I mean that when they're off lead, their brain is telling them, okay, look, there's something here approaching I don't like. There's a dog approaching. I don't like this dog. How are we going to handle this? How are we going to handle this thing that we don't like? And the brain says, well, look, if you can get 10 feet away from that dog in a split second, then everything's fine. We're safe. We're comfortable. I'm happy. I'm happy to not have to react. So they make a decision, and that decision is to weave in and out and do whatever they need to do and get away from a dog if they feel threatened or if they feel scared of it. They can avoid it as well, and what you'll likely see is a dog that avoids other dogs when they're off lead. So what you may see as your dog being okay and fine is what you're actually seeing is a dog that isn't interacting, isn't socializing and doing anything. It's avoiding. And that's because its brain is telling it, let's just stay away from the thing that we don't like. That way then we're much safer, and we're not going to get hurt. Hi Meg, you get a bit tangled there. Come on darling. Now, on the flip side, let's go for a dog on a lead. So that same dog that is non-reactive off the lead suddenly is much more reactive once you clip that lead on it, or on a harness or on a collar. And it doesn't matter whether it's harness or collar, they will react the same way as long as they're being restricted. Now, the lead itself isn't the issue. Putting a lead on is not the problem. It's the fact that the lead creates that restriction. It creates tension, and it's about the lead making the decision for the dog and the dog not agreeing with it. So the decision that the lead makes is to maybe walk within 5 foot of another dog because you're walking down the street, but that same dog that doesn't like walking past other dogs, its brain is telling it, you really need to be 10 feet. Why are you suddenly 5 feet? What's going on? Why are you 5 feet away? Why aren't you listening to what I'm telling you to do? So it reacts. So you have a dog that is on lead, that is being almost forced, but not in a horrible way, just the fact that they may be walking down a street on a pavement, and unfortunately there's another dog that comes out of nowhere and it's 5 foot away, and this dog Sorry, Meg. Oh, that's funny. This dog is 5 foot away, and you're holding your dog on a lead, and it starts to react. Well, that's because the dog isn't able to get away. It isn't able to complete what its brain is telling it to do, which is to get away, get to 10 foot. And that's just an idea. That's not that it is exactly 10 foot or exactly 5 foot. It could be, 5 meters, 5 yards, it could be anything. It could be line of sight. It could be anything at all that triggers that dog. And the threshold, which is important, learn about threshold. The threshold could be anywhere, but I'm just using 10 foot and 5 foot as an example. So 5 foot, we're saying the dog is not happy. 10 foot, we're saying the dog is happy. If the dog is within that 5 foot distance of another dog on a lead, completely restricted, can't maneuver, can't do what it wants to do, then that's when you'll find that reaction happen. And it's simply, for me, because the brain is telling the dog, let's do this, but it can't do it. The dog cannot and will not comprehend a lead. It won't understand what a lead is. It knows it represents a walk. It could also represent danger. But what it can't understand is how a lead is there to help with recall. It doesn't understand, the dog doesn't understand how a lead can be there to help with recall issues. It doesn't understand how a lead is there to keep it safe from environmental factors, i.e. cars and buses and roads and cyclists. They can't understand that. All they know is suddenly there's a restriction. Suddenly I can't do what I feel most comfortable doing, which is going 10 foot away from this dog. And this is true for anything that they see, anything they don't like, particularly it's dogs, sometimes people, but certainly dogs. You definitely get the issue with other dogs. So ultimately, to tackle that problem, owners tend to just let the dogs off the lead and say that my dog's much better off the lead, so I'm going to exercise the dog off the lead. But you still have the problem. You may not see the aggression, but the problem is still there. The dog still feels unsafe. It still feels scared. It still feels threatened by its environmental stimulus, i.e. the other dog. And that is something that needs to be tackled in order to give your dog the best chance and to help your dog become a happier dog. Because if every day goes by and you ignore the fact that the dog is not interacting with other dogs, a sociable dog will somewhat interact with another dog, whether that's by greeting the dog, playing with the dog, but it shouldn't just point blank ignore the dog unless you've asked it to. It shouldn't point blank ignore the dog. It shouldn't point blank ignore people. It should want to show signs of interaction, to show that it has the ability to socialize. If after the greeting it decides, actually, you know what, I want to go about my business and go here, go there, that's absolutely fine. But the initial thing should be a greet within a certain radius. Beyond that, then maybe, okay, it's a bit too far away, so they're not going to bother. But ultimately, if your dog is not meeting and greeting other dogs at all, then you can probably say that your dog has an issue with other dogs, albeit they're not reacting, but still they have the problem. And for me, it's about helping that problem and helping that dog, giving that dog a better experience on the walks, and not forcing it to play in any way or forcing it to interact, but letting it know that it's okay to interact, it's safe. Of course, professional help is needed with that to make sure it's right. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on this subject, and let me know your experiences, and ask me some questions. Ask me any questions you want, and I'll look to answer them on here, no problem at all. Get in the comments, subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. We got some exciting things going on there. We got the next video I think going up is a stay video. It's going to be really good. It's going to be the perfect stay, just the perfect stay. So log on, subscribe to my YouTube channel, James Davis the Dog Man, and we've got some exciting stuff coming up. So I can't wait for that. I'm so excited. I really am so excited by this. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later. Bye.